News 5 at 11 starts now.
First tonight, the battle to regulate cigarettes in the state of Ohio has taken a dramatic turn after a judge in Columbus issued a restraining order on state law. It allows Ohio cities to decide if they would like to create their own law banning the sale of menthol cigarettes or even stop cigarette sales altogether within city limits.
We hope that City Council is ready to hold a hearing so we can discuss this extremely important issue for the health of our residents.
Cleveland's health director is calling on City Council to take action in protecting residents against what he calls a huge health risk. But News 5 investigator Joe Paganakis reports Cleveland tobacco retailers and some city leaders even believe city cigarette restrictions will not solve Cleveland's growing smoking rate.
Tobacco companies have really targeted residents in the city of Cleveland, and we can fight back.
Cleveland Health Director David Margolius responded to a Franklin County judge issuing an April 19th restraining order on Ohio's smoking law, now allowing Ohio cities under home rule to pass their own laws on cigarettes. Margolius is imploring Cleveland City Council to pass legislation restricting cigarette sales, either stopping cigarette sales altogether or banning the sale of highly addictive menthol cigarettes.
In Cleveland, now the pressure is back on for us to pass a law to protect our residents, where we have one of the highest smoking rates in the country.
Cleveland City Council Health Committee Chair Kevin Conwell says he's willing to explore possible legislation, but says he'd rather try and use other city resources first to help people quit, instead of quickly trying to pass cigarette sales restrictions.
But you have to educate people first. You can't just say, I want to ban smoking and everybody just stop.
Conwell says he believes a cigarette sales ban could be ineffective and simply cause many smokers to buy their supply in neighboring cities.
Even in Collinwood, where they go over to Euclid to purchase cigarettes, or Glenville, as I said earlier, where they go to East Cleveland.
If we want to do it, just the whole state. Ban the whole cigarette from the whole state.
And Cleveland tobacco retailers like Haitham Mustafa, who is the general manager of the popular convenient food mart on Clark Avenue, says the ban will hurt small business owners and not have much impact in slowing nicotine addiction.
You're talking about 25% out of my sales, just like Newport. I do like maybe 40 carton a week.
But Margolius says national data shows cigarette sales restrictions are not a deal breaker for independent urban retailers.
In every jurisdiction that has passed flavored tobacco regulation, those tobacco retailers didn't go out of business, they just found other things to sell.
And the health director says a recent study shows nearly 25% of menthol smokers quit the habit in the 2 years after a ban is put in place.
We can do something to stop these 600 tobacco retailers in our community from recruiting our kids to be addicted to nicotine.
And Councilman Conwell says his health committee is set to hold a special hearing right here at Cleveland City Hall with Health Director Margolius sometime in mid-May. You know, News 5 will follow through on this important developing issue. Reporting here in Cleveland, I'm News 5 investigator Joe Paganakis.
State lawmakers can appeal the restraining order to a higher court. Meanwhile, Cleveland's health director says cigarette smoking and nicotine addiction is a growing problem here, with federal data showing that 35% of adults are lighting up at a time when the average adult smoking rate has dropped to just 11% across the country.